Alright, so maybe you've been wanting to start a side hustle, but every tutorial you watch just seems way too complicated. Or maybe you've already tried a bunch of these online side hustles and still haven't made a single dollar. That's completely fine, because in this video, I'm going to show you a stupidly simple AI side hustle for beginners that you can actually start today. And I mean, you can start this right after watching this video. This costs $0 to start. You're not selling on Amazon or Etsy, you're not building a website, you're not doing affiliate marketing, and you are definitely not running a YouTube channel. This is something that's been quietly working for a small group of people while most of the world hasn't even noticed it exists yet. So what are we actually doing? Well, folks, I'm going to show you how to make money by creating Spotify playlists. And no, we are not making music. We are not becoming artists, and we are not doing anything complicated. We are literally making playlists. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. There is no way putting songs into a list makes money. And girl, I like that you're thinking that way. You should question stuff like this. But what I'm talking about here is a legitimate business model. So let me quickly show you how this actually works, because once you see the idea behind it, this whole thing starts making a lot more sense. Every single day, thousands of smaller artists upload new songs, and their biggest challenge is getting those songs in front of people. One of the best ways to do that is by getting placed in playlists, and a lot of them will straight up pay for placement on a good playlist. This is already a pretty common industry practice. So what that means is, if you build a playlist with a decent following, you get to be the person they pay, because now you're the playlist curator. That's the whole business model. There are even platforms like Playlist Push, Groover, Submit Hub, and Daily Playlists where artists come in, submit their songs, pay a fee, and then curators like you get to review them and decide whether they fit your playlist or not. And the good thing about this is you can get paid just for listening and reviewing. On Playlist Push, for example, curators can earn up to $15 per song review. Once your playlist hits around 1,000 followers, you become eligible to sign up and join these platforms. So the whole game is simple. You create a good Spotify playlist, get it to around 1,000 real followers, and then start getting paid. And today, I'm gonna show y'all how to use AI to create your Spotify playlists for you, how to get thousands of real followers completely for free, and then how to start reviewing songs and pulling in some extra income on the side. Step 1 is building the playlist. The number one mistake I see people making when it comes to creating their playlists is they make playlists like chill vibes, sad songs, gym music, or best pop songs. These are too generic. Nobody is opening Spotify and thinking, I really hope I find a brand new playlist called Chill Vibes made by a random person today. There are already thousands of those out there. So if you make the same thing, your playlist has no reason to stand out. Okay, so what am I supposed to make then? Well, you want something specific, not just a genre, not just even a mood. You need to target a specific moment. To give you an example, a weak playlist idea would be sad breakup songs. A stronger playlist idea is something like this: I didn't know it was our last time together, or POV, your life is falling apart, or I'm falling out of love with you, but you don't know it. See the difference? One sounds like a category, and the others sound like something a real person would emotionally feel. That's what we're looking for. And the easiest way to find those ideas now is with AI. So I'm going to open chatgpt here, and I'm going to ask it something like, give me Spotify playlist ideas that are working well right now based on specific moods, emotional situations, viral TikTok style concepts, and highly searchable playlist themes. Now take a look at this. POV, you're driving alone at night in the rain. We never dated, but it still hurt. Studying at 3 a.m. with caffeine and anxiety. Songs that make you feel smarter than you are. You're not okay, but you don't want anyone to know. These are already much better than calling your playlist chill songs or sad songs, because each one gives the listener a reason to click. They can instantly understand the feeling. They make people think, yeah, that's literally me. And it's better if it's personal to you because you understand that mood better and the songs that go along with it. So don't just pick the first idea AI gives you. Take a look at all of the results. Then look for the one that feels emotional to you personally and easy to recognize in 1 second. For this example, I'm going to use We Never Dated, But It Still Hurt, because this one has a clear emotional angle. It's about those almost relationships, situationships, and that weird type of heartbreak where you don't even know if you're allowed to be sad about it. That's specific, and specific is exactly what makes people save. Now that we have the concept, the next step is turning it into an actual playlist. Normally, if you wanted to do this manually, you would open Spotify, click Create Playlist, give it a name, write a description, and then start adding songs one by one. Now this is very time-consuming. So instead, we're going to make AI do the boring part. For this, I'm going to use ChatGPT with Spotify connected. You can connect Spotify by going into your ChatGPT settings, then apps, and adding your Spotify account. Once that's connected, we are going to use this GPT called Playlist AI, and this little guy will make Spotify playlists for you based on your prompts. So you don't have to manually do all the searching and editing and adding. Playlist AI will take care of that. But guys, this doesn't mean you can get lazy here. Most people, what they do is they type something like, make me a sad playlist, and then get a basic playlist that gets no listeners. We don't do that here. So instead of giving AI a vague idea, we're going to give it the full emotional direction. For this example, I'm going to tell ChatGPT, create a 50-track playlist based on this emotional theme title. We never dated, but it still hurt. And then I'm going to explain what the playlist should actually feel like. Not just sad songs. I wanted to capture the grief of a relationship that never officially existed. The pain of almost lovers, unrequited feelings, yada yada. That gives AI a much clearer target. Then I'll describe the core themes and lyrics of the tracks. Like, as you can see, songs about timing being off or one person being emotionally unavailable while the other is fully invested. Then I describe the overall vibe, the genre, the structure, and I also add a few artists for it to draw inspiration from. And this prompt, by the way, I got from ChatGPT itself. I just asked ChatGPT to give me a detailed, targeted prompt for my concept. Now check this out. Once I run the prompt, Chat starts doing the track selection for me. It finds the songs, builds the playlist, and then gives me the Spotify link. And just like that, we have a full playlist with 51 songs. This took literally seconds. But, and this is important, this does not mean the job is finished. You need to check the playlist and the tracks yourself because sometimes AI will include songs that don't fully match the theme. So once the playlist is created, go through it, listen to the songs, check if they actually match the feeling you promised in the title. This is also where I like to do a bit of manual research. I'd search the same theme on YouTube or TikTok or search similar playlist names on Spotify. Then take the best fitting songs from those playlists and add them to my own playlist. And pay special attention to the first 5 songs. Those first 5 are basically the trailer for your playlist. When someone opens it, that's what they see first. So you want those tracks to be the strongest, most recognizable, and most emotionally accurate songs in the whole playlist. And aim for around 50 to 100 tracks overall. Too few songs won't make people stick for long, while too many can make people confused and turn away. Around 50 to 100 is what I found to be that perfect range. At this point, the playlist is built, but it still needs 2 very important things: a cover image and a title and description. First, the cover image. A lot of people overthink this part. They assume they need to design some crazy graphic, add 10 different effects, make it look super professional. You really don't. In fact, simpler works better. What you want is something bold, recognizable, and emotionally fits your overall theme. It could be an iconic photo, an artist image, a meme, a movie image, something aesthetically strong. Those tend to work well because people can understand the vibe immediately. If the image is too busy, too text-heavy, or trying to do too much, it usually performs worse. Take a look at a lot of playlists that do well and check out their covers. So for finding images, you can use Google, Pinterest, even screenshots if they fit the mood. Now once the cover is done, the next part is your title and description. And this is where a lot of people waste their good playlists without even knowing. Because they come up with a good emotional title, which is good, but they forget that Spotify also needs to understand what the playlist is, and so do the people searching. So you need to think of your title like this: 1 part emotion, 1 part SEO. The emotional part is what makes people click. The SEO part is what helps people find it. If you only do SEO, the title becomes boring. If you only do the emotional part, it might sound cool, but it becomes harder to discover. So you want both. For example, "We never dated, but it still hurt" is a strong emotional hook and it instantly means something. But by itself, it doesn't tell Spotify enough about what this playlist is. So what I would do is pair it with searchable keywords like sad indie songs, or situationship playlist, or even like sad songs for late nights. Now check this out. The front part gives Spotify context. These are searchable signals. Then the second part gives the playlist personality. That's the part that makes someone stop and think, yeah, that's exactly my life right now. And then in the description, you could mention keywords like sad indie songs, almost relationship songs, situationship playlist, late night heartbreak, unrequited love, and then include artist names related to the playlist. Now the biggest question is, how do you actually get people to find this playlist in the first place? Now that we have the playlist, we have the songs, the cover, the title, and the description. But the one and only problem is that nobody knows it exists yet. And girl, you don't have to worry one bit, because I'm about to show you how to promote your playlist with just your phone, without spending any money, without running ads, without DMing random people, and without doing influencer marketing. We'll be using TikTok mainly for this. And guys, I can't stress this enough. TikTok is genuinely the fastest way to grow a Spotify playlist right now, if you know what you are doing. And the reason TikTok works so well for this is because music is already part of the platform. People are already discovering songs there, saving sounds there, and TikTok videos are stupidly simple to make as well. You can literally take a screen recording of your Spotify playlist, play one of the songs in the background, and put a short text hook over the video. That's literally it. Just the playlist, the song, and one line of text that makes people stop scrolling. Now take a look at this. There are videos getting thousands of likes where the whole video is just a Spotify screen recording with text like best R&B playlist to listen to, or when you miss your banger era and you start playing this playlist. This is the format you want to copy. It's super simple, but one thing you need to pay attention to is the hook. By that, I mean the little text you put here over the video. It's what makes or breaks your video, because you are not really selling the playlist with your TikToks. The goal is to make someone feel seen. If your text says, check out my playlist, nobody will care about it. But if it says, when you miss someone who was never yours and you start playing this playlist, that hits a completely different part of the brain. Because now the viewer is not thinking this person is promoting something. They're thinking, wait, this is so me. And that is what gets people to go to your playlist and save it. So for the playlist we made, the promotion basically writes itself. You could make a TikTok with the playlist on screen and use hooks like, when you miss someone who was never actually yours. POV, you're romanticizing the one that got away again. When the situationship ended, but you still think about them. Songs for the person you never dated, but somehow still lost. Now, when you're starting, most of y'all gonna overthink the video, but you don't have to. Just take the playlist screen recording. Choose one strong song from the playlist. Add a text hook. Post it. Then make another one with a different text hook. Then another one with a different song. The same playlist can be promoted in a lot of different ways. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is posting 5 videos, getting no views, and then deciding the whole thing doesn't work. But that's not how TikTok works, guys. Some videos won't do anything. In fact, most of them won't do anything at all. Some will get a few views, and then one random version of the same idea might suddenly go viral. You can never guess which will take off and which won't. So you want to post consistently, ideally a few times a day. And when something starts working, double down in those formats. Now we get to the final part, monetizing the playlist. So once your playlist gets to around 1,000 real followers, that's when you can start joining platforms like Playlist Push, Groover, Submit Hub, and Daily Playlists. Now, as I said before, Playlist Push says qualified playlist curators can earn up to $15 per song review. Now, how much can I actually make with this? On Playlist Push, you can receive up to 8 songs per day. So if you're making $15 per review, that's up to $120 a day just for listening to music and giving feedback. And Playlist Push is only one platform. Submit Hub doesn't have a daily cap, and from what I've seen, you could be getting around 10 songs a day there too. And the more successful your playlist is, the more songs Submit Hub sends you. Then you've also got Groover, which has already done over 4 million feedbacks with around 30,000 curators on the platform. So clearly, a lot of artists are already paying for this, and there's very little people making money from this as of now. So if you get your playlist to a couple thousand followers with a good active audience, this can turn into an easy, almost passive side income. And once your playlist gets above around 5,000 followers, That's when you can even start doing direct sponsorships and direct placements too. That means artists either reach out to you or you reach out to them, and you can set your own price. Depending on your playlist size and activity, you can charge anywhere from $50 to even over $500 for a placement. That's where the bigger money starts coming in, because then there's no middleman. You control everything and take home all of the money.